Hey guys, this is Mani Karthik here. Welcome to another episode of The Web, where we discuss everything about the web. Today, we're going to talk something in depth about the Google search engine algorithm update that happened sometime in the first week of January as well as the first week of Feb. The Jan core update as well as the Feb core update. The first one, the Jan core update, was a publicly announced one, while the second one, which happened a few days back, the Feb 7th one, was not publicly announced, at least before it, but it seems to be huge. There's a lot of changes happening on the SERPs, and SEOs are currently figuring out what's going on and what's to learn from it, what changes to make to websites and such. So today we'll look at 5 things that we can learn as website owners about the search engine update that happened and what you should do on your websites to adjust and make sure you're in the good books of Google. So without wasting much time, let's get into the topic. All right, so the first point I want to discuss about is no follow links may not matter anymore to Google. So this was a statement made at the PubCon event in Austin, I believe, where one of the Google representatives mentioned that the no follow tag, although it works right now, it may not work in the future, in the sense that they're actually using the manual tagging feature that we are doing, the webmasters are doing right now, to feed to the algorithm to find out by itself what links are worth being followed and what links are not being worth following. So for example, let's say your website is getting 100 links or has 100 links at the moment, and let's say 99 of them are no follow links currently. And then if this data is fed into Google algorithm, it basically learns by itself, and I'm assuming that this website is probably not trustworthy because 100 out of 100 links, 99 of them are no follow. So this is something very interesting. So basically it just tells that Google is feeding its algorithm and training it how to identify a good link and a bad link. And links that has a lot of no follow tags attached to it at the moment may be tagged or known or maybe understood as a bad link at some point of time. So we don't know. This is just an assumption. This is just a theory. But I thought that was interesting. So keep adding the no follow tags and the rel no sponsored tags. It should work, but at some point of time, I think Google should be able to figure out by itself whether the links that you're linking to are good or bad without the manual tags. So that's interesting. The second thing is rich snippets may not be helping webmasters anymore to get direct organic traffic. So let me explain that. So we've seen that in the last couple of updates, rich snippets or features from rich snippets kind of got discounted in certain ways, I would say. Or Google is trying to put out the message that, hey, if you have all kinds of decorations on your SERPs, star ratings or FAQ schemas or answer boxes, whatever, it doesn't give you any extra special edge, or it doesn't give you any brownie points to win more traffic. One example is if you had answer boxes on the SERPs, after the last update, what has happened that if you have an answer box, then you are automatically pushed to number 11 on the search results, which is page 2. So what has happened is that a lot of people are losing traffic because they have the answer box or the rich snippets on them. So which is very kind of disappointing in one way, and encouraging in another way. Disappointing because people who had answer boxes previously would get a lot of traffic. I wouldn't say a lot of traffic, but significantly more traffic than just having a third or second or anywhere on the first page result. Because right now you have the answer box, which itself gets a lot of attention. And then when people scroll past that into the second to 9th or 10th result, then there's one more spot where your website appears, and that will also get you traffic. But right now, so what has happened is that if you have an answer box, then there is an automatic deduplication that happens, which is updated to the algorithm by which you are pushed to the second page or the 11th result and beyond maybe. So that reduces your chance of getting more traffic. So that is disappointing. And it's a good thing to know because turns out that certain websites which were getting answer boxes were not worthy enough to be there. So the folks who were on the second and up to the 9th result have a more fair chance of getting traffic. So that's the best part. And the disappointing part is that you no longer have 2 results on the first page. So that's one thing. So I think the takeaway there for webmasters is that you don't have to spend too much time trying to figure out how to get the rich snippets in. If you get it, great. But if you don't get it, don't be disappointed. It's not probably worth spending much time. So look at search and look at rich snippets as a way to tell Google what the content is, and not a way to get brownie points to show up or highlight on the search results. I think that's the point that should be driven home. And we've seen more rich snippet data come in, like for example, the FAQ schema and things like that can be leveraged. And these are good ways to tell Google what the kind of content you have on your website, but not probably, don't expect them to get you more traffic. Third thing is that link schemes don't work anymore. And this, kind of gives me a deja vu moment, because this is what Google has been doing right from, whenever you can imagine SEO. Because link schemes have always been there. Private blog networks has been there. Link wheel schemes have been there. Reciprocal linking has been there. But turns out that Google is always ahead of the game and keeps identifying these patterns and discounts them, or the websites that are benefiting from it on the search results pages. And one of the theories that has come up after the November 7th update, actually this was before the Jan core update, but it actually goes along with those updates, is that websites that's been participating in link schemes, can expect them to be discounted from their first page results. Because, for example, if you've been linking to one website, site A, and site A has been linked to site B, and B links to you, and thereby has some sort of like a wheel scheme going on, where you reciprocally link to a bunch of websites. Sometimes it's 2 websites, sometimes it's 3, sometimes there's more. But then if it appears to be following a certain pattern in some sort of a way to push each other up on the search results pages, then Google can see it as a way of manipulation and can discount all of them participating in the scheme. And this we've seen in results that happened after the November 7 update, where websites like, for example, food bloggers who usually keep linking to each other because it's a very close-knit community, have seen drops in search engine traffic. And some of this was recovered in the Jan 6th update as well. But the learning there is that to not participate in link schemes, because they tend to work momentarily, but in the long run, Google tends to kind of catch up with them and discount them. So you don't want that. So that is the point to learn there. The fourth point is that affiliate websites better be good with your content, because there was one trend at one point of time where if you're an affiliate website just churning out pages on pages with very thin content and just with links to your affiliate partners, then Google has a tendency to rank you lesser. Because the idea is that the user actually uses your website as a middleman, sort of, because they would anyway be ending up in the main website that you're linking to, and they'll be purchasing from there or making some sort of activity over there. That's the final goal of their journey. So you being the middleman don't really deserve to be there unless you're actually putting in more value than the website that is they're headed to. So let's say, for example, you're an Amazon affiliate, and unless you're actually writing very detailed and deep reviews of the products that you're linking to on Amazon, then you don't deserve to be on Google's first page results, obviously ahead of Amazon. So Google's idea is that why don't they show Amazon itself on the first page than the review side, which is kind of a debatable topic, because I've seen that the reviews are always the ones that shows up at least on the first page of Google are really, really in-depth and very insightful. So I prefer personally those websites to be showing up and not Amazon, because Amazon I already know. What I'm looking for is more valuable information about the products that I'm about to buy in terms of reviews from others. So I think the point is that if you're an affiliate website, make sure that the content is really good. And very important, which is actually my fifth point, is that if you're an affiliate website, make sure you have proper disclosures in place. And this too is a debatable topic, and I'll explain why. But the first thing is that if you're an affiliate website, make sure that you have proper disclosures, which are not like, sneak down to the footer part of your website or somewhere in very small letters. It should be very prominent. You should probably check out the FTC guidelines on it, but the websites that actually show up more often, which are affiliate websites that show more often on the first page of Google post the main Jan 6 updates, are the ones which have affiliate disclosures very prominently shown on above the fold, or probably sometimes near the links as well, because Google's idea is that if you are linking to an affiliate website, you should properly disclose it and not trick the user or the viewer to click on a link and get a commission because they're planting a cookie. So make sure that you have very, very prominent disclosures. And like I mentioned, it's a debatable topic because the question is, hey, if you are writing prominent disclosures, then does it tell Google that this is an affiliate website and it's probably not or less value than the actual website being linked to? And I think the answer there is yes, that might tell Google that you're an affiliate website and of a low quality value than the actual website you're being linked to. But if your content itself, like for example, the review, is more valuable than the site being linked to, then of course Google, can't think of a reason for you to be not there on the first page of Google. So disclosures and content is super important for affiliate sites. Gone are the days when you could just run a Shopify shop or something like that with just product and bare minimum description and affiliate links there. So if you're into affiliate marketing, make sure you check that out. All right, so the last point is widespread guest posting don't work anymore. And I know anyone who's into web, who's a webmaster or SEO, who's put your email into any SEO tools or participating in any discussions, know that you would be getting a lot of requests from guest bloggers wanting to write on your blog or your website. And this has been happening for forever, you can imagine, and it's never seemed to be dying, because even though Google is telling that, hey, guest blogging is not probably the best way to get links because you're doing, basically manipulation, someone out there thinks it works and they just keep doing it. So that's the reason why we're getting all those email requests asking for guest blogging. But I think the thing you need to understand is that if you're doing it widespread, then it's probably not worth it. Because if Google sees that you're getting, let's say, 25 blog posts every month or every quarter even, then that sounds a little, unfair and odd, because, unless you have done anything newsworthy, worthy enough to be on the press release or worthy enough to be mentioned on the news channel, then that kind of backlinks, huge number of backlinks, 25 to 50, there are even folks who get like 100 per quarter. That sounds a little bit odd and that's unfair. So if you've been doing that kind of stuff with guest blogging, it is not going to work anymore. And we've seen results from certain websites who've been doing extensive guest blogging get huge drops in search engine results post the January 6th and as well as the Feb 6th update. So one way to do it is do it very minimally, which means you can do it, maybe one guest blog a month sort of thing, and focus on getting good reputed websites to link to you. And it's not about which website that, or how many links you get. I think it's more about why are they linking to you and what are they linking to? Because unless you have something worthy enough, then it doesn't matter how many links you get. It will be discounted at some point of time. This is my personal opinion. There's no data to back it up. But let's say, for example, you're a startup and you're getting some funding, or you're, doing some sort of gimmick to get some press value, then use that, leverage that to get more mentions as well as links on mainstream media, because those guys have more reputation than these smaller blogs which only has little traffic. So one such link actually can make a big difference and boost your reputation score. And one thing to note there is it doesn't necessarily have to be links, because right now it turns out that Google is trying to teach its algorithm to find out mentions as well. So if you're a blog, or if you're a startup, even if you have a certain brand that keeps repeating or keeps being mentioned in certain industries, then there's some sort of reputation to be attached to it. So not necessarily it has to be links all the time, and Google can figure out if you're being mentioned in just by word, by the brand name, on discussions, on news articles. Like, for example, someone quoting you on a news article saying Mr. XYZ, who's an expert on SEO or who's a CEO of this brand, mentions this particular thing, which is an opinion about a news piece that happened, then that also can be counted as a valuable mention or a vote to your website, and it doesn't always have to be links. This is my understanding. So there you have it, guys. This is a very short and impromptu episode, and those are the 5 things that I could learn immediately from the Jan and Feb updates. And still, as we speak, there are things going on. A lot of websites are seeing ups and downs, and even my projects have seen a lot of ups and downs, and I'm just waiting to see for it to basically just die down and see if we can learn from any patterns that comes up. But if you have seen any drops or rises in ranks recently with these updates, let me know in comments or email me at hi@manikarthik.com or find me and hit me up on Twitter, and I'll be happy to discuss it further or maybe even feature it in the next episode. So there you have it. This is Manikarthik signing off. Thanks for listening.